Welcome back to bestofmarin.com, where we give you the rundown on all things happening around the county and where to find the best places to go in Marin. So today we are tackling what is essentially a survival skill for anyone living here.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you know the drill. You live here, you love it. But Marin is famously an early-to-bed county. It's not exactly a neon-soaked city.
That is putting it mildly. Around here, late night is usually just a euphemism for 9:30. Maybe 11 if you are incredibly lucky.
And if you miss that window, you aren't just out of luck. You're usually stuck eating, like, gas station snacks or whatever sad leftovers are sitting in the fridge.
Saving us from the hangry drive home. So our mission for this deep dive is to identify those specific pockets that actually keep the lights on for you.
Exactly.
So if we are looking for the path of least resistance, the actual center of gravity for late night food, where do we look first?
You have to look at downtown San Rafael.
Yeah.
It's really the closest thing to a classic late-night center here. It's the hub.
And if you're downtown, there is one neon sign that basically acts as a beacon.
Soul food.
It is the absolute satisfaction move.
It is. It's Puerto Rican comfort food. When it's late and you're tired, you don't necessarily want a tasting menu.
Right, you want sustenance.
Yeah, you want palo al horno, those lime-bright plantains, rice and beans. It's for when you need a real meal, not just a snack.
It anchors you. But soul food can get busy. If you drift over to 4th Street, what else is actually open?
Well, you have Ranch Water, which often runs later than most spots. Disclaimer, always check the hours since things shift seasonally. But for the classic post-movie vibe, it's Red Boy Pizza.
Oh yeah, that is the spot for the groups coming out of the Rafael Theater.
Totally. It's dependable. You grab a slice, garlic knots, maybe some wings, while people watching as the crowds thin out. It feels communal.
Okay, so San Rafael is the safe bet. But let's shift gears and head south. Usually when I think of Mill Valley, I think of quiet streets, maybe a glass of wine and conversation at 7.
It definitely has that vibe, which makes the 2 a.m. club such a fascinating outlier.
The name is basically a
dare. And a promise. It actually stays open until 2 a.m. But what's really interesting here is the atmosphere. The sources emphasize it's completely come as you are.
Dusty boots and salty hair, right?
That is the quote. You just finished the Dipsy hike or summited Mount Tam. You're sweaty, you're hungry. You don't want a dress code.
No, you want burgers and flatbread.
And a place that doesn't care if you look like you fell down a mountain.
It feels like a local secret handshake. Just down the road in Sausalito, you have a totally different energy.
Completely. In Sausalito, you go to Barrel House Tavern. They stay open later, especially on weekends, for fish and chips or chowder. But the contrast is huge.
Because you aren't looking at dusty boots, you're looking at the water.
You're looking at the San Francisco skyline shining across the bay. It makes a simple bowl of pasta feel like a real night out.
Before we wrap up, we have to look north. Because if Mill Valley is quiet, Novato can feel like a ghost town after 9.
It drops off fast. But we have to mention Maya Palenque as one of the few reliable late options up north when everything else is dark.
So the strategy really is just knowing where to look and having some patience.
It is, but there is a bigger takeaway here. The sources frame these open kitchens almost as small miracles.
How so?
Well, in a county that sleeps so early, keeping a kitchen running until midnight is a risk. These spots earn incredible loyalty simply by keeping the lights on.
That is a great point. It's not just about the food, it's about the availability.
And that leads to a provocative thought for you to explore on your own. With so few late-night options, does that scarcity actually build a stronger community?
Because everyone ends up at the same table.
When there's only one place open, you see everyone. The hikers, the moviegoers, the shift workers. It turns a late-night meal into a town hall.
I'll definitely be thinking about that next time I'm grabbing a slice at midnight. Don't forget to sign up to our email list for updates on our next episode and latest events. Until next time, we will catch you on bestofmarin.com.